Hi everyone, this is week 10 of my video diary, and it's also day 3 of my challenge on Facebook that Samantha Yates kindly passed on to me and nominated me for. I actually wasn't thinking about doing a video diary, but I had a really interesting conversation with Francesca, who has an amazing page called The Silver Tent on Facebook, which is a community of wise women of a certain age. And it's been an epiphany week, really. I had a moment on Monday when I was in a group, and I suddenly realised that I'd come full circle when I had this dawn of realisation about something, which is about something really profound in my life, and that's in relation to money and health. Many of you know that I have become unwell in certain ways, and we recently had a diagnosis of ME. It wasn't the diagnosis that actually I have been waiting for. I've been waiting to find out how I was going to overcome this, and how I was going to make my next move, and how I was going to adapt and heal myself. It's interesting, isn't it? We have, this is my 4th neurological disorder in 13 years, and each time I've relied on the NHS to help me to well myself. And I've done the holistic stuff and the natural remedies, etc. But this time it felt deeper than that. There seemed to be some reason why I had to find solutions and answers and go right back, strip this right back to find out, well, what is it? Why have I created this? And it's been really interesting because I've found out that I had chemical poisoning from the initial onset of antibiotics that I got when I had meningitis in 2003, which has been compounded over the years with all the added medication for all the other conditions that I got. Yes, I had a predisposition to get neurological problems. However, I've managed to master them. But actually it was the medication that was actually causing more riot in my body than the actual conditions themselves. And when we got the diagnosis recently, the doctor couldn't help me anyway, because he said if he gave me any medication, it was going to cause more harm than good. It's going to create so many symptoms in my body. So yes, I crashed a couple of weeks ago, so I have pretty much been housebound. I haven't been going for my walks like I did. I have no longer go to the gym as I did. And that in itself was stripping away from me the things that gave me meaning to life. Apart from communicating, getting out and seeing my friends and loved ones, and with my work. But actually what I did was I made a change. I was running to try to catch up, so that eventually I knew that I would have to go down the alternative route, or the private route, which would cost money. So like many of us, we think that what we have to do is keep working, get the money, then we can actually look after ourselves and we'll be fine. And I had to make a decision recently when this happened, which was stop. I now have to look after my health. If I don't, I'm not going to be able to leave this house ever again. And so what I did was I found the means to be able to pay for the private scan, the private treatments, and get the private care that I needed. And with that, suddenly everything has changed for me. And I realised that actually, when I look back at my life and I look at how I've conducted it, I've always attracted and had to survive by fighting. I've always had to defend myself and to try to keep going to survive in this world. When in actual fact, recently I gave myself permission, because I gave myself choice. I gave myself that the attention that I deserved, and I allowed myself to say enough is enough, and now I'm going to look after me. And actually it has been so cathartic, it's been so relieving. Suddenly people are helping me, coming out of the woodwork and saying, I'll help pay for all your supplements, I'll pay for your treatments, and it has been so humbling to feel so nurtured and loved and treasured like that. So I did actually send out in my Christmas cards this year a letter of thanks to all the amazing people that have come into my life, that have been in my life, that my loved ones, my friends, good associates, and people that I've just met recently who have astounded me with the enriching relationships that I've been developing with them. And it just makes me stand back to look at how privileged I am to be in this position, so that I can see clearly, despite all the debilitation that this condition has created. I have seen a way forward. I have got a plan now of how I'm going to well myself. I have a different attitude towards money and how I'm going to look after myself and my loved ones. And I've actually passed over the responsibility to those that I trust now to help me to complete my mission. And that was something very hard for me to do for many, many years, because I always felt that I had to survive alone. So I think the message in this is that actually, just because we become ill, it doesn't mean to say that the doctor is going to give us the right diagnosis or the right medication or the right answers. We always know these answers within us, and I think that this is really important. I think it's sometimes illness is a way for us to be broken, to be healed, and to be reborn. And I think that that's very humbling to go through that process and see the beauty in that. So if that's the message I can give to you today, then I hope you take it with love. Thank you.